Let's do.
There we go. All right, guys. Good morning. It is officially Friday. The weekend is here, and it is the 25th of July. So if you're watching the replay somewhere, that's what day it is when we recorded this. Bill, what's up, brother? You fired up and excited for this week, this weekend, this moment in time that we're in right now?
Real excited on a personal note. I'm going to Flowchella. Flowchella is like a boating. It's the biggest boating event like in the Northeast here in Jersey.
Is it
And
like Coachella but on the water,
yeah, I guess it is. I
like
don't know.
like the
But
music festival? Like,
anyway, it's huge. It's at this place called Tyson Shoal, where you can stand in the bay, that kind of thing.
uh,
And excited about that. But I got to tell you, I'm also excited, real excited, guys. Why we before you get into your training here. Now it's not business, but like Dan says, I'm still attracting followers and people are going to see my other videos. So I did a memorial uh, for Hulk Hogan, on TikTok. I just his picture and his one of his favorite songs that he always came out to when he used to wrestle, and I got 30,000 views right now, and
mhm.
I literally in a half hour they were in the thousands. It's just crazy how that happens, Dan.
Yeah,
Crazy. So
it is. It is, and with TikTok, or I mean, really any social platform, you guys can always take advantage of, what's trending and specifically what's trending in the media. And, right now you had there's always three. They always go in three, Malcolm
yes,
Jamal Warner, Ozzy, and Hulk Hogan all within, 7 days.
wow.
So, you could use those trends, something like that. It doesn't always have to be death, but, you could use what's going on in the media to draw extra attention. That it's going to get your channel and profile more views. And Bill, like you and I were talking about, when you have a video that's getting 30,000 views, that's when you throw out some extra, content of your own, because you got people that are checking out your channel, they're checking out your videos. So there's a good chance that you're going to get more people that's checking out what you're doing for sure.
So before Dan jumps into it, what he also says is like one per when you're doing your content, have some personal, have some value. Value is just, a free gift, you know what I mean? Some stuff you learned.
Hmm.
And then some business. You know what I mean? Just have it all mixed in.
Yep. Yeah, and speaking of that too, like, just give you guys a quick update on LinkedIn. Um, you guys saw me. I think it was about a week ago. I think when I first showed you guys my channel. I'll just kind of show you guys here real quick. Um, when I first got this channel moving here, when I first opened my LinkedIn account, I was obviously I think I had like 11 followers or something like that last time I showed you guys. I'm up to like 50. Call them connections on YouTube. It would be subscribers. On TikTok, it would be followers. Here it's connections. Same crap. Um,
Okay.
but I had 11 in the beginning. Obviously, it was just me. I was the only one that was going out and you know hitting like add connection, add connection, add connection, whatever. I got slapped on the wrist my very first week because I added too many connections too quickly. So I very quickly learned how to, like, I can only do so many at one time. But now I'm at a point where I've had probably about a dozen people or so now are seeing me and now are requesting my connection. So just getting out there and putting out content. And one of the things that I'm focusing on over here specifically is value-based posts and also intriguing style posts, where I'll ask a question. And so, like the one I did this morning right here, where I said, formal education will make you a living, self education will make you a fortune. Little Jim Rohn quote there. And I just asked a question. I said, like, do you agree? So I just posted that a little while ago. No engagement on it yet. One like, yippee. But just putting that type of value out there. And I've had some engagement on my posts. I've had people asking me questions. I had somebody message me already and say, "Hey, I see what you're doing," and then I end up jumping on the phone with that person. I did share this with you guys the other day, but um, seeing a lot of good growth and engagement so far on LinkedIn, and it's just getting out there and doing the work. And what Bill said, kind of putting that value out there. That's what my most of my posts have been. I've done very little pitching as far as results. If you look at the RVL, right, guys, what's RVL stand for? The three-letter acronym. We talk about this all the time when you guys are posting on social media. What is RVL, right? I can see Domingo's frantically typing. He's like, I want to get it in there. What is RVL, guys? Okay, what is RVL? What does that stand for? When you're posting on social media, anywhere on social media, you guys should have this in the back of your mind, right? You guys should have this in the back of your mind. The type of post that you guys should be doing, right? So R, right? Results, V, right? Value, and then L, almost lifestyle. Lifestyle. So show people you're a real person. So specifically in regards to LinkedIn, I'm doing a lot of value right there in the middle in that V. A lot of value based posts. Tax strategies. Hey, did you know if you guys were a home based business owner, you could be saving this amount of money per year versus a standard W-2 employee only saving this amount of money per year? All kind of posts, that have something similar to do with my econ, home based business, all of those things. And then occasionally I'll throw out, a results based or more of like pitching the business type of thing here. But I'm just trying, what I'm focusing on is educating the people that are on LinkedIn, because these are unlike TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, where people, it's more, entertainment or infotainment. These people are more business focused. So I'm really trying to create a lot of that intrigue, a lot of that value. So that way, when you do turn around and offer something, people are like, oh, now let me go pay attention to what this guy's talking about. Okay. So creating those value based posts, very, very, very important. And I know I've shared this with you guys probably 100 times, but maybe more. When I first got started, the acronym that just made me go, and you guys hear these things all the time, and I actually want to know your thoughts on this. What is one phrase, sentence, nugget that you guys have heard that was a light bulb moment for you, that was an aha moment for you? For me, it was the tail end of 2016 when I heard the acronym ILT, invest, learn, teach. You invest your time, sometimes money, you learn something, you turn around and you teach that to others. For me, when I heard that, it was just like, oh, that just makes so much sense. I get it now. I get it. Like that was a light bulb moment for me. So put your thoughts in the comments right now and let me know if there was one nugget, if there was a phrase, a sentence, an acronym, whatever it was for you that just made it had things just make a little more sense. Like, oh, I get it now, or oh man, I can go do that, or whatever it is, right? Albert, yeah, great phrase in there. If you don't know what you're reaching for, how the heck can you possibly achieve it? And that goes back to goal setting. If you're just going to run out there and throw a bunch of mud against the wall and hope it sticks, then you got to have a goal written down. You got to have something that you're reaching for, or else, I don't know. So what else, guys? Bill, what about you? When you think about like what was your aha moment in the industry? Could it be recently? Could have been, a decade ago. Something that made you go, I get it now. Or like, I understand this better, or that just makes so much sense. What was that moment for you?
Dan, there's so many when you say
Of
acronyms that
course, right?
there's just too many. So some of them are not as powerful as the one that you just mentioned because I can't even think of it. But my favorite one is it's just learning more about the industry and why I'm here. What I say this all the time about learning all this stuff, but really why I'm here, the main phrase for me is in this industry with the right comp plan, I'm only one person away
Mhm.
from just like breaking out.
Yeah.
And that that is what I think about every day. That motivates me.
Mhm.
That's one of my motivators.
Yeah.
Uh, one of my motivators. And when I get busted up and I get a bloody nose, I just wipe it off and I go find a leader. And that's
Yeah.
what I do. So
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it too. Like, I mean, all of us, every single one of us, because we have the right compensation plan, we are literally just one person away from, just having life-changing results in your business. Literally life-changing results. You could go from having no one on your team to having hundreds or even thousands of people on your team with one person. One person can make that difference for you. It's just crazy. So the reason
And you
why I,
know,
I bring this
sorry, Dan.
stuff, what's that?
I was just saying we don't talk about it enough.
No,
We
no.
talk about sales, 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 sales. You guys are here for another reason. You don't have to be a superstar. It's team. I'm a team builder. Um, and I love recruiting, but I want you to know that that is the big prize. That's
Hmm.
really why you're here. That's why you're in an MLM. Don't be afraid of MLM. It's the best industry.
Yep. Yeah, it's so true about that phrase right there. And I think we think about going out and making a lot of sales so we can pay the bills, which is cool, or we can make a lot of sales so we can get a paycheck, which is, all those things are great. But like when you find a real leader, someone that is has built teams before, someone that knows how to build a team, and you bring them in, and you could phrase this around recruiting up or recruiting captains or whatever you want to call it, but you just got to get out there and you got to go. You can't be afraid to reach out to successful people or people that have had success in the past. And I know we're gonna kind of dip into this bucket here a little bit. I know because Bill, you and I were talking about this right before we went live. But the reason why we're sharing some of the stuff with you guys because like earlier this week, I think it was on Wednesday, I shared with you guys a document of all Jim Rohn concepts. Now, how many of you guys, or let me rephrase this a different way. How many of you guys had one of those phrases resonate with you? And I know for me, there's so many. I went over this on Wednesday with you guys, but there's so many Jim Rohn comments and Jim Rohn phrases that just really resonate with me. I'll give you one. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll create an excuse. I mean, I heard that from Jim Rohn. I mean, that to me is one of my favorite lines ever. I use it literally all the time, especially when I'm dealing with like someone who's like, "Oh, woe is me," down in the dumps or whatever. Um, but what? If you guys go back to that concepts document that I gave you on Wednesday, what is a phrase for you? Put this in the comments right now. What is a phrase for you that kind of stood out there? And that stuff there, guys, is just it's just life changing stuff. If you let it be life changing, it can have such an incredible positive impact on you, your personal development, your outlook, your attitude, your success journey. It can have so so many positive impacts. But you just have to let it. You know what I mean? Like you have to let it. And I know, Bill, one of the things that you and I were talking about, I do want to touch on this because I think this is a very important topic. Is you were talking about like dipping into the well, dipping into past experiences, dipping into people that are already in our wheelhouse that we may not even be thinking about to help us build, to help us grow, right? Yeah, Paul, I agree with you 100%. Paul put in the comments, don't wish it was easier, wish I was better, wish you were better. I mean, how many times do we get frustrated or we see something and we go to reach in our pocket and grab the super common excuse of, I don't know how to do that. So instead of saying like, I don't know how to do that, be like, man, I wish I knew how to do that. Or I'm going to go learn how to do that. That's more important. I'm going to go learn how to do that because you guys have this. And in 2025 and in today's day and age, like you can't, it's impossible to have this and not learn how to do something. You just you you can know in my opinion, Bill, tell me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, today you you can't use the excuse of I don't know how anymore. You just can't. You can't. There's too much information available at your fingertips. You can't use that excuse is no longer valid.
Absolutely.
It's just
I mean, and it's not even about that. You know what I mean? It's like we said, if you're here for the right reasons, you'll learn how while you're there, but it's not a sprint.
yeah.
Overnight success doesn't always happen overnight, but it can. When it
Hmm.
does happen, it is overnight. I tell the story all the time. Some of you here have heard it a million times, but I did bring a guy in to our community on our first fulfillment company, and he brought in over 1,000 people in less than 4 weeks. He didn't use our system. He didn't talk to any of us. He did his own thing.
Hmm.
He's a general. I say captains. This guy's a general. And by the way, I'm actually working on him because it's all timing.
Yep.
It's the right timing. And it's funny, anytime him and I worked together in the past, it always seems like he decided in the summer. So I've been working hard this summer trying to earn him back into our program. And if he comes in, he'll put 1,000 people again in real quick, and then he'll grow. And then if we didn't have our debacle, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
but that's not our fault.
Yep.
Remember, we just got to look forward.
Yep.
But
Yeah, super true, man. Super true. Really quick before we go any further, I want to give you guys some. I want to give you guys some updates. Just let you guys know what we're working on in the background here. Um, we always have different things that we're working on, and I just want to show you guys like some of the things that I'm doing. How many guys either actively or in the past have used the global in our team site? How many of you guys have used the global sales funnel? Just comment the word global if you guys have used that before. And I also want to pull this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, pages and funnels. Boom, boom, boom. All right. All right. So, how many of you guys are using that global, global, global? Okay, good. In my opinion, like, slightly biased here, but in my opinion, I think out of all the different funnels that we have, I think the global sales funnel for me, that specifically that global sales video is probably one of my favorite videos. I don't know why. I like the way it flows. Okay. I don't know what it is. I like the way it flows. So it's this one. It's no, it's not that one right here. It's this one right here. The one that specifically says global. Um, we released that as soon as we went global back in what was it, Bill? February? Is that when we went global?
yes,
I think it was February. Yeah. So when we went global, this is the one, maybe it was March. This is the funnel that we launched alongside that. Now, primarily, in the funnel, it mentions a lot of like global language, any country around the world, or over 150 countries around the world. There's global terminology throughout the video on the sales page, all that type of stuff. But anyway, out of all the funnels, I feel like this one was probably one of my favorites to create. When I was going through it, I was just like, oh man, that's good. This is flowing good. This is working good. It was just one of those vibes that as I was putting it out there and creating it, and I use it all the time. I use it all the time on my own email list and that type of stuff. So what I did is this is our current capture page that we have for it right now, right? You know, very salesy, very just advertising, make money online. But of course, that's the target market that we're going after. So what I did is I created a split page for it. So you guys can see here in ClickFunnels. Um, and this is something that again we don't show a lot of these behind the scenes things here before. This is our original capture page over on the left hand side right here. This is our original, which is also known as the control. And then we have a variation, which is basically what's also known as a split test. We're doing a split test. So we have this page over here. And I just made this live a few days ago. All right. So now we're splitting this and we're running 50% traffic to one, 50% traffic to another. So if you guys are out there using the global sales funnel, I'm going to be splitting the traffic between two different capture pages. Nothing, absolutely nothing that you guys need to do on your end. But ultimately, the reason why we're doing this stuff, guys, is we want to increase our conversions. We want to get more conversions. We want to get more leads. And already split testing this just after a few days is you guys can see how it's in green versus this one is not. This one's in green, meaning that most likely, based on the data that we already have, is this new capture page that we're split testing is already going to be declared the winner. So I'll show you over here what that looks like. And most of you guys probably haven't even seen this, but it's really simple. Like, again, this one's the original. This is the split test. So, similar themes, similar concepts, similar colors, but it's also a lot more simple. This one here has a little bit more going on. There's, I'm going to talk in marketing terms right now. I have a headline, I have a second headline, I even have a third headline here, and I have a couple of smaller sub headlines. So there's little more information on there. This one here is really simple. And you guys got to remember this. Simple always wins. Okay. So everybody comment that down below. And Bill knows this going back years. Like he's got some capture pages and some videos that he's been using for years because they're so simple, and simple always converts best. And this one is basically like a headline, subheadline, information, and button. And that's it. Super, super simple, guys. Simple always wins. So I wanted this one to be super simple. Now, here's what's really cool about this. Here's what's really super cool. I don't know if she's on. I think I saw her on earlier. But Tracy, who is a brand new team member, Tracy came on board, and Tracy has some obviously affiliate and network marketing background. And she came on. She just joined me the other day, and she says, "Hey, Daniel, here is a page that I have used in the past that converts really, really well." So she gave me a page that she was using with some other affiliate marketing opportunity. And I basically, kind of cloned a version of that and made it ours. And this was all based on, um, you know, feedback from another member. They said, "Hey, have you seen this thing over here? I tested it out. I got some great results with it. Um, this is what it looks like." And I said, "Man," and I saw the page that she sent me, and obviously it looks very similar to this. It did not have this red border. It was even, just a white page. And the only difference is the guy, I don't know if it was the creator, whoever it was, but it showed the guy's face. But it also talked about making faceless videos.
I love it.
And I thought, hey, I was like, I can go make our own version of that, and just have it be, slightly different wording, change the picture around, especially since you're talking about, faceless content. I didn't want to, I thought it was the only one thing I thought was really weird is it was talking about faceless content and then showing a picture of somebody's face. And I said, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I said, guess what, guys? I went to ChatGPT and I said, "Hey, here's the picture from this website. Can you take this same exact picture and put a smiley face over the guy's face?" And that's what ChatGPT did. So
I love it.
ended up working out really well. And it took me, it literally, guys, took me 10 minutes to go clone this page, and then make it our own. So now we're split testing it. And again, based on the feedback over here, obviously it looks like it's going to be a winner. So what that's going to end up doing, guys, for you is that's going to end up increasing conversions, getting you guys more leads and sales. So I don't know what page you guys are using. I don't know what sales funnel you guys are using right now. But maybe think about using the global funnel. Converts well. It's one of my favorite videos out there that we have in all of our sales funnels. I like them all. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I like them all, but I like for me just giving you the data when I email my own personal list, when I'm trying to get sales and I'm emailing my own personal list. I use the global sales video all the time. I use it all the time because I feel like it's a good video and it converts really, really well. So just kind of some thoughts on that. But I mean, Bill, I mean, obviously I know simple is better. I mean, you have
Way
some
better.
videos, you have some pages that you've been using for probably what, 10 years now?
Oh, they're ugly as hell, but they work,
Yeah.
It's just men, to be honest, just holding money, it's all about the money, that kind
Yep.
of thing. And I even did some faceless ones I still use from 10 years ago before we
Yeah.
even knew what faceless was. It's funny that we're doing them now.
Yep.
Um, but I just checked, when are we going to get that? Because I love that page. I just went and checked the app. You still got the old one. Are you going to be switching it, or is it here and I missed
There's
it?
no switch. It happens automatically on the back end. So if you're sharing that funnel, it's gonna rotate it automatically. I just
Oh, okay, I got you.
before I switch it out 100% to the new page, and this is what you guys need to know and understand. Like, we don't do anything on our team that we haven't tested. Okay. So
Oh, I
we
got
want to
it.
test it, make sure the data is there, because we make our decisions based on data, right? We make our
Home
decisions
results.
based on data. And I think Tracy just joined. Tracy, if you're here, we were literally just talking about the capture page that you sent me that I just made live. We're testing that out right now. But before I go and I switch all the traffic over to that one specific capture page, I want to get at least a week's worth of data because right now it's only like, been a couple of days. I want to get at least a week's worth of data so I can say, okay, 100% this page, the new page is converting more than the old page. Now I just shift all the traffic over to that one page and then you guys will see it nonstop. That's typically how that works. But yeah, I know, Bill, you've had ugly, simple ugly
I
pages that you've been using for years.
I call them ugly, but they work. I still do HTML code. I'm getting more modern, and especially with ChatGPT helping me now.
Hmm.
Because believe it or not, all my web pages when I used to have to, if I didn't copy an image that was available, if I created something, I used to have to go to Fiverr, and I used to have to wait. It wasn't the money. The money sucked, but the real thing was waiting for it. So
Yeah.
now with ChatGPT, you can make anything within an hour, you
Oh
know?
my gosh, less than that,
Yeah. Well,
minutes.
sometimes ChatGPT, I argue with him, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
He doesn't do what I tell him.
Yeah. I got a question, guys. Comment comment ChatGPT in the comments. Just put the word ChatGPT in the comments. If you guys are actively, and I say actively meaning semi consistently or consistently, if you guys are using ChatGPT on a consistent basis for your business. And I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. Like, if you're not, um, it's it is such an incredible tool and a resource for you to get familiar with. And like, you're not going to break it. You're not going to mess anything up. And I know you could be like, well, I don't know how to use it. Like, stop. Can we all just stop with the I don't know how to do something? Can we just like let's make a commitment to ourselves on this team to rule that phrase out of our vocabulary. We want to be the team that knows how to go get the answers. We want to be resourceful so we can know how to go get that answer that we're looking for. ChatGPT is a great thing for that. Even and I know for me, I don't I'm Bill, I'm sure you're the same way too. Like I don't just use it for business. I use it for all kinds of stuff. Like uh, full transparency, I was watching late last night. I was watching a series on Apple TV called Masters of the Air, and it takes place back in the 40s during World War II, and it was based on all real life stories about these B-17 bomber kids. These kids that were flying these planes and dropping bombs on the Germans. And while I was watching that, I was literally using ChatGPT to get me answers about the documentary, and it was actually about based on a book about a real life guy who had experienced all that stuff and was part of all that. And so it's I use it for so many things, but throwing it out there, if anyone hasn't seen Masters of the Air on Apple TV, I think it's a 10-part video series. Again, if you guys are like history buffs or just like really good programs or documentaries or whatever, throwing that out there, really cool series. So yeah, there you go, Tracy. No, I don't knows. Like, let's all be resourceful, guys. Let's go find the answers for ourselves. Let's get out there and go do that.
You, you
There's
know,
one.
sorry.
Go ahead. What do you got?
I was going to say full disclosure. I mean, I'll just tell you guys. So every once in a while, when I don't follow my regiment, my daily regiment, um, and I have a wild, crazy weekend with eating greasy foods and everything, I get sometimes this little flare up of like diverticulosis or something. It's very rare, like once a year or something. But when I get it, every time I went to the hospital, I spent a lot of money, CAT scans, all that kind of stuff, and they don't really do anything. Just change your diet, fix this, fix that. So I told ChatGPT this, and I've been every day checking in with ChatGPT. It's crazy. I don't advise it. I'm not saying every day telling them my progress for the last week. And I got to tell you, it's been even told me what medicines to go get over the counter.
Wow.
Literally what time to take them, what to take them with, what to eat, and literally in the last couple of days is my best days. So that is just nuts what I just told you, but it's it's true. So
Yep.
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean it's a great tool. It's a great asset. It's something that I think is so underutilized, literally so underutilized. Um, One of the things that you were talking about, Bill, is dipping down into the well, dipping down into the bucket, dipping down into um, the people that have been with us, the people that have been in our circle, been in our sphere. Um, and there's a bunch of different ways to approach this. There's a bunch of different ways to attack this. But obviously, if we look back at our previous business, other things that we've been in, um, I want you guys to think about this. Like sometimes it's easier. I'll try to give you guys an analogy, right? Sometimes it's easier to fish off the same pier that you've been fishing off of versus going to try and fish off a new pier or going somewhere where the grass is greener. So let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. When we get out there and especially when we're in my ecom, we're doing this thing, we're out there creating content. It's like we're kind of going out there and we're looking for new sales. We're looking for new fresh sales, new fresh people. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great thing. That's a good thing. You get out there and you go create the content, and you're doing it on the different social platforms and you're creating those videos and you're trying to bring in new people to your business. All good things. But I think sometimes what we have to think about is who are the people, and especially this really goes to the people that have maybe been on our team for some time now, the people that have been with us for maybe longer than a year. And I know that's a smaller amount of people that are here, but I just want to give you guys a concept and something to think about here is, it's 1000% worth it to reach back into the well that we have already, drank from. So meaning, and I'm just gonna say the name, right? Like we were in Savings Highway for many, many years. We did a lot of business with them. We brought on a lot of team members, thousands and thousands. Think about this, thousands and thousands of team members. And this is where those of you guys that are new, okay, those of you guys that are new that don't have the longevity with us, you can still take advantage of what I'm talking about here. So we've had so many thousands of people join our teams over the years that we can go dip back into that well. We can go reach back out to some of those people. And there is think about this for a second here. There is a much higher percentage of them rejoining us versus trying to go fish from a different pier. Does that make sense, guys? Like you're kind of tapping into the same well that has already been proven to be very lucrative. So maybe instead of going and trying to tap into a new well to go fish off a new pier, yes, you want to do that. Yes, you want to go bring in new blood, new business, 1000%. But you also may want to think about tapping into an existing well, fishing off of a pier that has been proven to yield a great amount of fish. Okay. So, what are some ways that you can do that? Well, if you know these people personally, if you're friends with them on Facebook, if you're friends with them on TikTok or whatever it is, maybe reach out to them. What you could also do is now would be a great time to create some content out there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, Linda, change your paradigm, change your mindset. You absolutely do have a well to dip into. And this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. So, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Oh, I can't, but I've never done. Like anytime you say that, anytime you put that out there, it's like you're validating what you're saying.
So can I jump in there real quick, Dan?
Yeah, go for it.
So just for Linda, just off that, and I was as soon as she typed that, I knew you were going to come right in. Um, the phrase that you would use, he just gave you one of the companies, okay? You would be like, the largest team has segued over to my econ or our opportunity, however you're going to DM, however you're going to message, would and then you do your pitch. So you're no different than Dan or I because you're on our team. So that that's your barrel as well. I don't call it a well. I call it fishing in a barrel, Dan.
Hmm.
Fishing in a barrel. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So literally our barrel is your barrel because you're on the team.
Yep.
And that just came up like even when our income, it's not about your personal income. It's about income on our team. That's how you're able to say things truthfully without fibbing, without, not telling the truth. We do have people that are making, $700 a day some days. Like literally, you're not saying you do, but people on our team, not to segue into that, but that's what Dan's talking about. You
Mhm.
have our barrel. So,
Yeah, and another way to look at that too is, again, let's take Savings Highway. You could take GFU, and it could be the same exact thing. Um, but if you don't have anyone to tap into, if you don't have anyone that you can physically message, you can also you can also create a piece of content, especially on YouTube, where you're you could, and the thumbnail, the title of the video, and anything, and it could be obviously funnel team related, and you could say, hey, if you were on the funnel team with Savings Highway, reach out to me now, ASAP. I have something super important you need to know about. And you could create a video like that. And I can promise you that if you use specific keywords and you use specific, intriguing statements like that, maybe utilize ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, I want to target market people that were in this company with this team. How can I phrase this, or how can I create a video that targets those people? You may want to go do that. And you could create a piece of content on YouTube that could say, hey, if you were with the funnel team during this time frame, hit me up now. We need to chat. We need to talk about something, because, and then you shift gears and it's like the funnel team is on a trajectory over here right now, and they're creating some massive things and doing some massive things. So if you were with them over here, you really want to be with them now, because what they're doing, what they've grown, what they've learned, what they're teaching, what they're sharing, you really want to be with them right now. So it's a way for any of you, any of you to go create content that is current, that targets the people in the barrel or in the well or off the pier or whatever the hell phrase or thing you want to put in your head that works for you. Okay. But it's a way for you to target those folks. Okay. And you're still able to kind of dip into that same well that we're talking about right now. Okay. So you guys can go still do that and still attract those people, because, again, think about it. You can go fish off a new pier, and you can go for new fish in a different ocean and a different lake and a different stream, whatever. And you can go fish for new blood, new life, whatever. Perfect. Awesome. Great. But you can also attract, and you can also go after, and this is where this is really important to understand. You can also go attract people that have, like, I'll try to make this as real as I can. You're also going to go attract people that have already pulled out. This is my credit card. You can go attract people that have already pulled out their credit card and said yes. Okay. And there's thousands of those people, thousands of those people. Okay. And the odds and percentages and chances of bringing one of those people in versus bringing in a brand new person that knows nothing about the funnel team, nothing about my econ, nothing about making money online, the chances of you pulling in an existing person that has already pulled out their credit card is much higher. So you can do a lot less. I mean, sorry, you can do a lot more with less with that style of marketing versus trying to do something completely new. Does this make sense, guys? Comment makes sense if that makes sense. Okay. Bill, your thoughts on that? I know we've talked about that a lot, and it's nothing, we haven't really dove into this, topic before much. But I think, just like we were talking about before we went live here today, tapping into the existing barrel or the existing well is something that, realistically, we should all be doing. You're muted. You're muted.
sorry about that. Yeah, we kind of have like a little, call it a celebration, whatever. We're kind of like me and Dan talk about everything every day, things that happen in real life, results and non-results. And we were just saying, we were talking about we have someone who, was one of the faces of one of our fulfillment company, but also on our funnel team. And she was looking at my econ on her own and, found us. And after a few conversations, has come back. And I was just telling Dan that, we have all the alerts. Every time someone joined our team in the company, it says, "Hey, you have a new team member." And we get a lot of their information. And it's easy to find, them on Facebook. And I said, Dan, we've been saying it for a while, and Dan's done it before, and I've done it before. But I need, like, literally, like, if I had 4,500 people active on my team, that means we've had probably 20,000 people who've come in, between the quitters.
Yeah.
So literally there's like 20,000 people that I could fish in the barrel with and just send an email to, a text to, even a phone call. I could be doing that all day and have just as much success, if not more success, on doing more content. Not saying not to do content, but you get our thinking there.
Hmm.
That's how this was kind of thought about this morning. So we want to welcome our new member back to the funnel team, and that just proves that we're a great community, and that's very, very important
Hmm.
when you're choosing a fulfillment company. It's not about the company sometimes; it's about the team, and we are a team. I mean, we
Yep.
put in a lot. I don't got to brag about how how much we give and how much time we give and how much
That's
we
a lot.
care because we care because of our goals. Let's just
Yeah.
be real, okay?
Well, it's not just the goals too. I mean the goals is part of it, but like, and we've shared this before, and sometimes we all need to hear it. Is like we truly, genuinely want to see you guys win. You know, making money is great, but none of us make anything if you guys aren't making money. If you guys aren't making sales, then we're not making the money that we want to make. So it's like we generally, like honestly, sincerely want to see you guys and help you guys win. And one of the things that I love doing more than anything is shouting other people out. Like when we see other people that are out there that are winning, that are generating sales, that are ranking up, for me, it's just that's the best feeling on earth is seeing you guys take what we've given you, run with it, and get some really really great results. That truly brings me joy, and to be able to do that on a consistent basis, it's just freaking awesome. So we want to see you guys win. So yeah, yeah, yep, yep. All right, cool. Bill, I don't have anything else unless you got something else.
Um, how about the weekend contest? I just sent you a text if you want to clean that up. And if you want to go for the juggler, I mean, you want to say names? You want to do this weekend? You just talked about it. You want to go for it?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do a challenge around it. We certainly can.
I meant like the YouTube title. I just sent you a
Oh
title.
yeah, no, I know, and
Yeah,
I'll even drop it in here. I mean,
yeah.
no secrets here. If you guys want, um, I don't think we're gonna spin the wheel on Monday or anything like that. But I mean, if you guys, because some of you guys already dropped a comment in there. I know like Shannon and Tracy were like, "Oh man, I never thought of that. Oh, I'm going to I need a video for this weekend." Like, that is a great video to do if you want to in the concept that we're talking about here. If you guys want to go dip into, and fish from the existing pier, so to speak, or fish out of the barrel that has produced, I mean, just thousands of sales. That's a great way to do it. You know what I mean? It's a great way to do it. Um, and another way to think about that too is, um, you have previous businesses that we've been in. Yeah, and it's right there in the title too. Like if you were on, our previous company or you're currently in, because it's just a lot of, people pulling from one company over to the other. But, there's a lot of like cross pollination, crossing the streams over in those specific niches, savings clubs versus savings clubs and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of people that are jumping ship from one thing over to the other. So if you wanted to target not only what we were in, but what a lot of the other people are jumping to, you could definitely do that and say, hey, if you guys haven't seen what the funnel team is doing, if you guys were in this or you guys are thinking about this and you haven't seen what the funnel team is doing, then you really need to take a look. And again, any of you guys could go. Any of you guys could go make that. Any of you guys could go make that video. All right. And you're going to target that. You're going to target that specific market. You're going to target that specific pier or barrel or well that we're talking about. People, and this is the most important thing to keep in the back of your brain here. You're targeting people that have already pulled out their credit card and said yes. It's the most important thing to remember here. And when you target those people, when you go after those people, and you can do this, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on YouTube or wherever, if you know some of these people personally, like message them, um, they've already pulled out their card. They've already said yes. So the likelihood of getting them to say yes again is much higher than trying to go get a brand new person that's never done this sort of thing before. Please keep that in mind. Okay. And that's why
And
it's a,
I'm going to open up myself. Like, if any of you think that your prospect's worth it, and it's old school phone, and I'm just following a lead from some leaders that I've worked with that are still, the founder of my econ still does what I'm going to say. And we've gotten away from it a little bit, but I'm going to
mm,
open up myself, that if someone shoots me a text and says, I have someone ready to get on a three-way, I'll hop on a three-way if you need me to help answer questions. I'm throwing myself out there because that's how
you
much.
and I just did one the other day.
Yes, exactly. So I want to. It's a lot of work and a lot of time, but that's how much I really care and want to make this work. I want everyone to have success, and
Mm.
I want to grow the team. And I know it works. It's just it is time consuming, but they're short and sweet. We could do a training on this another time, but basically it's like, hey, I'm gonna put Bill on. He's the CEO of Affinity. He's one of the top guys. Um, let's be respectful of his time. I'll get on. I'll do the talking after you introduce me, answer any questions, and then we'll do the call of action. I'm pretty quick. So
Yeah.
I'll throw
And
that out there.
you literally did that with me the other day. You had someone, um, that was joining you, and you brought me in because they knew me from YouTube and social, and obviously being part of the funnel team. And you brought me in for credibility, and I just said, hey, good to meet you, great to have you here. Same thing, if you need me for anything, hit me up, ask me any questions you have. Great to have you on board, let's go get this. And it was quick. You don't, when you do that type of thing, you don't have to be there for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I think I was literally on the phone with you guys for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, and then that was it. But it
Yeah.
just lends credibility to what we're doing. And, this is obviously a relationship business here. And we're just letting people know that, we're real, we're there for them, we're going to answer their questions, we're going to help them out. And it's a great way to do it. So you
Yep.
guys always have us to utilize if need be.
One last thing, Dan. I got an email queued up today. Anyone that has won the contest, just know I get it done. You can't just go boom, boom, boom and send the emails out back to back. So I think I'm like a week behind of the winners, Dan.
Yep.
So literally today another one goes out, and then next week we should be all caught up. But they work, so just
Oh yeah.
you'll know when it happens because if you got the app going, you'll be hearing it.
Yeah.
By the way, Dan, is the app fixed on the pushes?
No, that's an entirely different conversation that we're going to save for a different time.
Okay,
The lead
gotcha.
notifications still come in.
That's
That's
what I meant.
fine.
I'm sorry.
When you
I'm
guys
good.
generate leads, you'll get the notifications there. That works no problem. The push, the communication settings, meaning when we go to send out a push to say, hey, we're live, jump on, or hey, we're doing a training, those ones do not work right now. But the lead notifications still work. But anyway, I'm not even
That
going to go down that rabbit hole right
that's
now.
that's all I cared about, just the
Yeah.
leads, because I like when I send that email out. It's always a nice feeling to hear them say, "Oh my God, I got too many
Yeah, my
to
phone's blowing
get
up.
back
Yep,
to." Good stuff.
sure. Yeah, and we've helped a lot of team members with that. All right. Appreciate you guys. Bill, thanks as always. Thank you guys for being here. Taking time out of your morning. I'll have the replay loaded up for you guys shortly. Get out there. Maybe go dip into the existing flowing sales barrel, sales pier, sales well, whatever you want to refer to it as. We gave you guys some of the thoughts, some of the concepts, some of the things to go run with. Maybe go do that this weekend. Maybe go roll that out. Who knows? Maybe maybe we'll throw you a bone, throw you a bean on Monday. Who knows? We never know. We'll see what happens. We may surprise you. But get out there, guys. Go have some fun and have a great weekend. We'll see you soon. Take care.